Hey everybody, welcome back live at Drew's house, Joppa afternoon drive. The weather's definitely getting a little colder out there. Into the fall we go. Hope you're all doing well out there. We got ourselves a music show from our Newburyport studios today. I am very excited about this. Our guest today, right near where I live, right in the North Shore, Beverly, Wangari, Fahari, and Paul Thibeault. Take it away, guys.
Eba, 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 ba, ba, ba. Eba. Ando di koishi mai karaga mena keha wamona atire na dai waiting orimoa we tenye show. Maradora da fu na da command. No dai tia comaco maundo madeno ni mau cabodira. My friend, don't you worry right now. Don't you worry no more. Orito wa mehukoya wamona matire na dai moirene orimo o we denye wambesha shao mararoira da fu na da kame tiga comacio maundo madeno ne mau cabodira. Oh my friend, don't you worry no more. Don't you worry right now. No more, no more. For the things of this world have a beginning and an end. Hold on, hold on, hold on, my friend. Tiga murata.
Hey, very nice. Wangari, welcome to Newburyport. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you
good.
for having me.
Dang, well, this is fantastic. And Paul, good to have you as well. How are you, sir? You guys sound great in here. Room okay?
Yeah, it feels great.
It's a little chilly out there, isn't it? I'm keeping the jacket on for the first time in the show this year. I was cold when I walked in, man. Well, very good. Wangari, you're living in Beverly these days, but you're a Kenyan American, so it's we were talking a little bit off the air. How do you like Beverly, first of all?
I love Beverly. I've been there almost 7 years, 8 years going into, and I cannot imagine a better place to like set roots and thrive. So, yeah, I love it.
Cool. Yeah, a lot of good music on in Beverly too, but as in Newburyport. But very nice. Well, Wangari, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where's the when the music career start? How is it right now? What's going on in life?
Do you have a couple of hours?
Sure.
Yeah, so I was born in Kenya, born and raised in Kenya. I went to school in Kenya.
Yep.
And I think the summary version of how it came to be was in Kenya, as it is here in the United States, football in the United States is kind of like music in Kenya in terms of...
That's soccer, like football.
So I think the best way to explain it is... sports here are valued in terms of the amount of energy, I guess, and financial support that goes into supporting athletes.
I understand, yes.
For Africa, specifically Kenya, it's music, so it's the opposite. So I kind of got caught in that, like that system in school. And when I started pursuing that, I found that I really enjoyed it, and it was a wonderful way for me to heal. It was a very important. I was in boarding school, so I was very isolated, I guess, from my family. And so when I found music in school, I started thriving, and I just settled in it really well. After I graduated, I decided to find how I could use my music a little bit further than just participatory and just presenting it. And I started thinking of my voice in the music industry, like who I was as a person.
Yeah.
And when I was about 16, I had the pleasure of meeting Miriam Makeba, who's a civil rights activist out of South Africa. And that's when I started having ideas of how I could use my music and my voice to bring positive change around human rights and civil rights. And I settled there, and I've never like moved ever since, and that's brought me to you.
So much of that, that style of music, it is music with a message, right? There's and I mean, of course, there's no shortage of things to write about around the world, really, but it is, I mean, those are always my favorite songwriters, is those songwriters that are saying something, you know. I mean, pop music can be liberating too, but I've always liked the music with a message. I thought where you were going there was I thought you were going to say it's music and your football, soccer, and Kenya. That's what I thought you were going to say.
I had a way of just stepping that one off.
Yeah, so our Patriots are down around here too, so that's, I don't know, I'm not sure how into that you are, but people are upset about that. But well, it's beautiful. You guys sound great. What's the biggest difference between like an African audience and an audience here in the States? What would you say? Is it? I always, just from somebody who's never traveled to the continent, I would say it seems like people there are engaged more. They're into it more. Sometimes you can go to a lot of show here and it's a lot of sit down and maybe more of a listening crowd. But would that be an accurate statement? Or?
Yes, that's a good observation. I noticed that, so right now my audience is 99% white usually.
Yeah.
Those are the people that have extra income to spend on entertainment and go see music. And most of those spaces are presentational. So I'm on stage and I'm presenting and people consume the product, I guess, and then we have a review about their experience, but mostly they're there to be immersed in a culture and have an experience that usually they would not have. They would have to travel right to the continent. If I was in Kenya, that is also possible, but there's I think a twist to it, which is I think people can always find it really hard to sit down or to tap or to move. I find myself like I'm in concerts where I have to sit. It's very difficult for me sometimes. Yeah. And I think movement is a huge part of African people, like how we express ourselves as moving your arms would be to an Italian.
Yeah.
I don't know. But not generalizing, but I do feel that there is definitely movement is a huge part. You can see it even on TikTok, how like Afrobeats has gone even diverse groups who would never have such amazing movements or like start orchestrating pieces through your body that are absolutely amazing. Yeah. I think that's a testament to.
No, I mean, I've heard even like American rock stars say, just traveling abroad, say it's just so different. You know, one of my guys is, I always mention him on the show, but Bruce Springsteen was telling me, was telling his crowd one day, and I would happen to be in the audience, that he was saying you do a show in New Jersey or New York, and sometimes it's more of a listening crowd. Like, I mean, they'll be loud and raucous, but if you go to Barcelona or something, the Spanish, they love to jump around and like just, it's just a whole different thing. And he goes, it's not good or bad, it's just different. It's culture,
It's refreshing also. To see all the different people and how they react to music.
Do you like because I can imagine for you, like, I mean, I'm sure you love getting people dancing and that whole, whatever feel. But I do also like, when you have a room of 100 people, however many at one, say you have like a small intimate room like that, and they're just sitting there listening and they're not dancing. Maybe you're sitting too, which is, again, maybe not your most comfortable. Is there something refreshing about that for you too? Just, okay, it's a listening audience. It's different. Let's see how they take it in.
Yeah, that's a good question. So that was how I began. Yeah. So mostly sitting, very intimate. We did a lot of house concerts in listening rooms. When we released our new single that came out this year in June, we started exploring more movement, which we started realizing that our audience was yearning for more of that high life set list that we were almost not tapping into as much. Yeah. So I do find that my voice is very sultry, that it's best if I enjoy more of the intimate, like listening room styles, but I'm also learning how to also loosen up on stage and have some fun with the audience.
You can do it both. Well, there's nothing more intimate than this right here. So we hope you're enjoying this. You guys going to play one more for us here and keep us moving?
Yeah, so this song is called Delicate, and it's a song about love. All right. And the gentleman is asking the woman to come closer. Jamani, elekea, umeniona vipi? Siku mingi nimengoja nikajapotea. Uso wako, tabasamu yako wewe yanipendeza mimi, oh mimi. Uso wako, tabasamu yako wewe yanipendeza mimi, yanipendeza mimi. Jamani, elekea, songa, songa. Jamani, jamani, elekea, songa, songa. Siku mingi nimesikia wimbo na sauti yako we mpenzi. Oh, my love falls deep just like a river, just like a river. My love runs deep just like a river, just like a river. Uso wako, tabasamu yako wewe yanipendeza mimi, yanipendeza mimi. Jamani, 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 elekea, songa, songa. Oh, my love, jamani na jamani, elekea, songa.
All right, Wangari, Fahari, Paul, Thibeault, very nice, guys. Sounding great.
Thank
Very
you.
good,
Thank
very
you for
good.
having us.
This has been fantastic here so far. And again, music show from our Newburyport studios, Maeve Power. Thank you very much to Maeve for producing our show today. Sarah Hayden, the boss. Maya Gaspin's around too, our small but mighty crew here in Newburyport, doing a great job. As always, thank you guys. And this is live at Drew's house, Joppa Afternoon Drive. So I wonder the mixing of languages, is that something you've always done, Wangari? Is that something since you've moved to the United States, or like is that something you always were interested in, trying to do a little bit of both? Or
Yes, so I always struggled, I guess, picking one.
yeah.
And I was coming from also being told that my tribal language does not show that I'm intelligent.
Oh.
So I was dealing with that stigma, I guess, of colonization and our languages being put down and English being, so a lot of us put more emphasis on wanting to be seen as literate and using English more. But when I moved to the United States, I noticed that was already done. How could I immerse people into something different? So I started tapping into my tribal language as well as Swahili.
So, okay. Wow. So, I mean, that stuff, that doesn't come up anymore, right? My goodness. I hope people still use
Yeah, it's still
Really?
a thing. I think it's mostly like interpersonal relationships between people. Like if you have an accent, right? So
Yeah.
people might not know, like people will say, oh, you speak really good English from someone from Kenya, right? So it's still those microaggressions, those moments are still out there that made me feel more connected singing in English.
Yeah.
But then over time, I realized by also not singing in English, I was giving people an opportunity to really go deeper into a sound. And
Yeah.
also, like, the mood is different, right? If I sing in English and when I sing a song in Swahili or I sing a song in Kikuyu, it's a completely different vibration.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. How many options do you have to go to? So and walk me through the language thing, because that's a whole. I know the tribal language is different.
Yeah. So my mother language is the first language we learned, which is our tribal language, and that's Kikuyu. And then Swahili is the language that really brings the whole East Africa together.
Okay.
So I found that was a good language to connect with a larger population in Africa, but it's also a language that is taught in a lot of colleges and universities. So it has a larger international connection, I guess, and also was not being used a lot. So I thought that would be a nice niche to start creating an East African sound in the international market.
Gotcha. Well, I'm always so impressed it's one thing I actually regret is not learning. I can speak a little bit of Spanish, but
I can teach you Swahili.
You want to teach me? I guess that's why we had the 3 hours. Very good. Perfect. Is it a hard language to teach?
No. Mama is mother.
Okay.
Baba is father.
Oh, I got it. Cool.
Dada is sister, and Kaka is brother.
Okay.
So you already can get it's like very vowel, like it's a very beautiful language to sing in, but also easy to learn and write. So.
Yeah, and English is like the hardest they say, isn't it?
Yeah, the way you write it is not how you read it. It's not how you say it.
Yeah. Have you picked up on any Boston accents around these parts since living in Beverly?
Yeah.
You got a little right there. Very good. Yep. It's funny. I always like, because people used to say, "Oh, you don't have a Boston accent." That's interesting, and maybe I think it creeps in maybe a little bit from time to time. But I guess I never really had it growing up. But I do have like friends who I'm like, where does that come from? Like, it's like very like the typical. But I find like most people don't have the thing that they make fun of Bostonians for. But I know that whole Harvard yard thing.
Yeah.
And stuff, you know.
My friends in California make fun of how we say lobster.
Yeah.
On the West Coast versus the East Coast.
Yeah, it is funny. Very good. Paul, how did you get together with Wangari?
Well, I actually was in New Hampshire, and I was playing in jazz band, and there was a venue called the Black Cat Cafe.
Yep.
And the owner loved music, and he decided that it was time for him to move on from that. It was it would change hands from time to time, and people would reinvent this cafe, and he was the one that had music, and the musicians decided to all come together and have one last night of like a jam.
Mm-hmm.
And she was with a different band, and I was with a different band, and then we kind of congregated, and I met Wangari there, and we just started playing music together, and we've gone on a lot of journeys and cross country and toured and stuff, but essentially it was born there from this little cafe that hosted music.
The old story of two bands in one room, and
yeah, it's kind of that. She played in a traditional piece, Malaika, and it was kind of really amazing, so it's hard not to notice.
You guys sound great together. Outstanding playing there, Paul. What's the life like on the road? I don't know when you came off the road last.
Yes.
Recently, or?
So I haven't toured much this year, but when I was doing a lot of production and work in New York, it was post-COVID. So I got to see cities change pre-COVID, and then during COVID, and then after, and so that was kind of scary.
Yeah.
You could feel the frost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel I've said this on the show a million times, and I'm not sure if it's me convincing myself or if it's an actual true statement. I think there's some truth to it, but it does feel like to me that like every time I go out to see a lot of live music, it's very rarely do I go out to dinner where there's not live music. Like I tend to go for music, not so much for food. It's one of those things. There you go. But it's even like a lot of my buddies that come through this show and we'll play, I'll go support them and stuff. And it feels like people are more appreciative in the audience these days post-COVID. At least a little bit. I don't know. It seems like cause I know it is for me. Like when COVID hit and there was nothing to do, like I don't think I took going to see live music for granted, but I think maybe I did a little bit. Like, I don't know. Yeah. Like when that wasn't there, that was not an option. I was like, this is not good for me.
Yes, we realized very quick how essential, right? That it is. And so is comedy. I think a lot of people really appreciate that now. And we can see like the spike in like the shorts and how well artists are doing. So, I guess it has its good and bad things, but at least we get to be in a space now where we value arts and music and culture, and the state is putting more money into supporting artists than I'm happy.
When you say shorts, do you mean like the social media shorts?
Yes.
Oh, you're so right. Those are everywhere on my
everywhere.
feed. Yeah.
We're really feeding on art now in a healthy way, not in this way. Like when I started, a lot of people to get a real job, right? And that was hurtful. So I'm glad that people
right.
have gone past like, yes, you're an essential part of our community, you know, right?
That is lovely. How do you feel about the social media? Are you able to take advantage? I know.
Oh, it forced me to. I'm one of those girls, like, I keep saying that, I should have opened my Instagram page, like, years and years ago, but I was stubborn because I thought it would fade and it would never work. I can say that when I did the Syria Diani release that came out in June, so if you have a chance, check it out, it's on Spotify, I put more effort into creating a relationship with my audience. I felt like even though social media wasn't for me, I was really missing in letting my audience know how much I care about them and that I want a relationship, right? So that's why I'm here. I'm hoping that I'm improving in my social skills.
Yes, I know it is. It's so much too. Because I mean, I remember.
I have a manager, so I don't do it all by myself. I cannot handle it.
I need one of those. I'm gonna give me a minute. No, because it is time consuming. Yes. And it's like, I remember the whole Twitter was like the thing that was going to take off when I started in the news business like 10, 12 years ago. And like, everybody has to do Twitter. And then like, 6 years ago at some point, I remember talking to some of the high school kids that came through here on this show, and they were all like, oh, none of us use Twitter. And I said, nobody in high school uses Twitter? And I was like, well, that's not good. It's only a bunch of people my age, and that was, and then now it's kind of, Instagram came along, and
I never learned how to use Twitter. I just don't have that much to say, I guess. But I love Instagram because you can always capture like the reels when it all started. I felt like
it does seem like the one that's kind of sticking a little more,
Yes, it's business driven, and that's awesome.
Business driven, timely. It has that timeliness of Twitter where this is what's happening now, but also gives you some more options to do. I don't know. I guess we won't dedicate this whole 10 minutes to social media, but it is an interesting part of our world.
Yes, but hopefully we dedicate it and people will go check it out.
There you go. You can give your handle too. Why don't you give your handle?
Yeah, so you can find my music at Wangari Fahari, and that handle will apply for LinkedIn, Facebook, but mostly check out the Spotify link on my Instagram page at Wangari Fahari.
All right. You good about posting your schedule on there too and everything, or links too? All right.
Yes, and hopefully that you can come see us on Friday the 3rd at Me and The Music on 28 Magford Street in Marblehead, where Paul and I and our drummer Mike Hastings will be presenting some wonderfully curated music specifically for that night and that room. So we're really excited. It will be intimate and it will be fun. So.
Awesome. Very nice. It's a very popular place around here. I remember my old friend Anthony Silva is over at that place. He used to work in news. He was one of my early, I guess, what was that? He probably left the news business about 6 years ago, I want to say. Hopefully I got that right, but I hope Anthony's doing well. He's a good man. We crossed paths. He was in Newburyport the other night. He went to see a show, and I was there the next night. So at the beautiful Firehouse Center, you should go sing in that room. I like singing.
I did. We actually played there with Paula Etsy.
Oh, okay.
With the gallery.
Oh, nice.
And I love that room.
Oh,
it's
good.
Beautiful.
It's a special place.
It is a nice place, isn't it?
Yes, I'll do it again.
All right. Well, why don't you guys have another song? I know. So why don't we take it away? Wangari Fahari and Paul Thibeault in the house live at Drew's house, Joppa Afternoon Drive.
In honor of Paul mentioning Malika, the song that I played, I'd like to present this for you. Malaika, nakupenda malaika, malaika, nakupenda malaika. Sasa mimi nifanyeje? Kijana wenzio, nimeshindwa na mali sina. Mama, pesa, oh pesa, zasumbua roho yangu. All this wealth is is bothering my soul. For I need you, and I need you now. But I got no money, I got nothing. My angel, nakupenda. Yeah, nakupenda. Malaika. Kindege, nakuwaza we kindege. Oh my little bird, oh my little bird, yes I do think about you. Nashindwa, nashindwa, namali, nashindwa, namali, nakupenda, malaika Mungu. Oh. Yes, I do think about you, Malaika.
Very nice. Wangari Fahari. Paul Thibeault in the house. Live at Drew's house. Joppa Afternoon Drive. A very fun music show from our studios here in Newburyport. Wangari, we were talking a little bit before. You had pneumonia last week, you said. Yes. You were playing hurt. I hope you're feeling better. I know you said you're kind of still pushing yourself a little bit, but...
Yes, I lost my range, that's for sure.
You sound great, though.
Thank you.
Thank you for I mean, you didn't have to do us, but we appreciate you for doing it.
Anything for you.
Friends forever now. To come back anytime. Was it a bad bout of pneumonia? I know it's that time of year. People are getting things.
Yes, and kids go back to school, and I have a 7 and a 4-year-old, so they bring everything I need.
Yes, I've heard
to
that.
Be stronger.
Yeah, schools are tough right now. I know. I've heard it. I was reading a story today about strep throat too is a big one right now,
and everybody stays healthy. And,
yes. Right before the holidays. You don't be getting sick right now. Sure. Those are coming quickly, huh?
Yes, I know, and I'm just excited. I think this concert will kind of mark that beginning of November for me, so it's a great way to start the month.
Do you, now that we sit here in November, do you try to, like, I don't know, I always feel like kind of summertime into fall, maybe this musicians kind of look for a little bit of a breather, maybe a little bit of a break, or do you kind of just ramp it up through the holidays? What's your scheduling style?
Yeah, so I'm mostly busy with everything, whether it's production, planning the next release. We have a release coming up in February, shooting videos for those releases, creating content, so it just never ends. We do see that the radio starts playing more Christmas music and more, so
that does happen, doesn't it?
Yeah, so not a lot of people want to give our music airplay around that time, so things do slow down. For concerts, I think it gets busy because the kids come back home, and so.
And it is. People like to do things people are always looking for an excuse to get out, I guess, when it gets cold.
Do you know a cool thing I learned is best concerts are the day after Thanksgiving. I didn't know that because no one wants to eat leftovers. They all go out the day after Thanksgiving.
I didn't know that. Have you thought about that? Have you thought I've never played a bad show?
It's always I thought when they booked the first time, I said, why the day after Thanksgiving no one will come? They're like, quite the opposite.
Yeah.
So if you ever want to do a concert after Thanksgiving and you're worried, worry no more.
There you go. You make a great. I'm thinking about it right now as you said that too, because it's like like you said, college kids are back, so it was always kind of a big going out night when you're coming back from school.
Show off your local spots to your family.
Yep, that's right. No, you're completely right. That makes sense. Yeah, I'm gonna look at all those. I'm gonna look at how much action is going on Friday after Thanksgiving now, and it's gonna be a great night of music. Fantastic. How do you guys celebrate the? Do you already have plans, or you know what you're doing, or?
We'll keep it simple this year.
Yeah.
Last year, I think we all were sick, so I'm trying not to overplan anything anymore. But we'll just be together as a family and celebrate all the good things that we've achieved and support other people in need. I think that's a wonderful time for community outreach as well. So.
Are you called upon to sing for the family too? Is it a?
Every night they will not sleep, and they give me that song. We have our song, and
You said 4 and 7?
Yes.
So it's a musical house. That comes with the ticket, right?
Yeah, it's great singers too. So have it
Yeah.
coming my way.
That's a beautiful thing. And I'm sure you can tell them it's a very glamorous, not a grind life at all. It's perfectly.
I'm worried. I'm like Juliet, classical piano, period.
Yes.
No singer-songwriter. Too hard. No, they can do anything they want.
Yeah, that's very nice. I always thought my dad has had a band for like 30 years growing up. It was a wedding band, and I always wish he would have. I said like, come on, I wish I could play piano. I wish he like forced me to. And he was like, I don't know, like, you were always into baseball. Like, I wanted to let you do whatever you wanted to do. I didn't want you to force you to do what I do just because I sing. But I was like, yeah, but now it's cool.
Yeah, right.
That's so important, I guess, what you just said, for people to hear that, because there might be a parent who's afraid of maybe not pushing their child a little bit more.
Yeah.
I just say, like, offer everything and encourage them in everything, and they'll turn out great. You turned out great.
Oh, thank
Are
you.
you good at baseball now?
No, that's the thing. I never had a chance at a pro career. But anyway, now it's fun. But I always think, and it's easier when you learn young too, right? Like, I mean, if you're 4 or 7, like that's.
Yeah, my daughter's loves it, and it's her way of relaxing. I'm happy that she enjoys it, because I really wanted her to have some. I play, but not to accompany myself.
Yeah.
And that is something that I would love for her to have. So.
Yeah. Paul, I taught myself guitar in college, and just I kept thinking it would be great to. I wish I started this 15 years ago. But what's the biggest mistake that the amateur guitar player makes, do you think?
Well, I think that with guitar, I think people should just play within their ability. Sometimes I think like the amateur guitar player might overstretch themselves, and it's like you can always simplify stuff. You know what I mean? And I always do that even with myself now. I try to learn a piece, and then it's almost like a sculpture. You keep taking pieces away, and the sculpture gets more defined. You know?
Yeah.
And then you can have kind of less is more approach. Yeah. So
Gotcha.
I kind of do that. Yeah. It doesn't take much to move somebody with music. You know, you don't have to overstretch your bounds and more and more. So that would be my piece of it.
What was the old country line? Was 3 chords and the truth, right? That was,
There you go. It doesn't take much.
There you go. Wangari, I usually do this with the first timers on the show. We do a little rapid fire, which is you got to say the first thing that comes to your mind. Mostly easy, although some people have really struggled before. But you ready?
Yes.
All right. Rapid fire with Wangari Fahari. First time on the show here out of Beverly, singing some beautiful songs for us. Favorite food?
Curry. Anything with curry.
Best music show you've ever seen?
Wow, I have so many.
Rapid fire.
Yeah, the rapid fire went away. I'd say Cassandra Wilson.
Cassandra Wilson? Okay. Best venue you've ever seen a show or performed in? Favorite venue?
You say it. Throckmorton.
Okay.
In Mill Valley, California.
Yep, right with the firehouse in Newburyport. We got your hometown. Just kidding. Favorite city in the world that you've been to? Beverly. Wow. I was just at the Cabot the other night.
Yeah, you see why.
Yeah.
And I'm not kidding. It is my favorite city.
And so the Wood Brothers, they were fantastic. Let's see. Favorite subject in school back in the day?
Swahili.
Sweet. Okay. So it was on the language.
Literature.
And I'll end with this one. What was the best career advice, can be music or otherwise, was the best advice you ever received?
Respect the 10,000-hour rule.
Oh, I have to ask you to elaborate. Keep going.
So the 10,000-hour rule, if you want to be really good at something, give it at least 10,000 hours before you quit or you think you can't do it. And I've done that with everything, and it works.
Wow. Okay. Remember the first person who told you that?
Yes, my father-in-law.
Okay. 10,000-hour rule. There you go, kids. That's the one. Stick with it.
Stick with it.
Well, Wangari, this has been fantastic. It's been awesome to meet you. Thank you so much for coming in. I know you're, like I said, you're coming off pneumonia, and you're like already have a busy week planned. So thank you so much for making some time for us. Enjoy the shows coming up. Enjoy the holidays and all that stuff. And this has been a pleasure to meet you guys. Paul, thank you so much for coming in. Hope you enjoyed the studio.
I very much did. Thank you.
All right. You guys want to play us out with one?
Yes.
All right.
Let's close with City of the Sun.
See everybody live at Drew's house. Joppa Afternoon Drive. We'll see you next time. Wangari Fahari taking us home.
Africa, you find no trouble in the city of the sun, only joy. A man stands alone and guy falls off, walking like strangers on the streets with no smile. Oh, matters of yesterday won't pay, no, won't pay. So hold my hand, together we will go to the city of the sun. Oh, mama, oh, mama, oh, oh, mama, mama Africa, mama, hey, hey. Welcome to the city of the sun. Twikaraga to Kenete, Hingo show the ma. Oh, Twikaraga to Kenete, oh, Hingo show the ma. Hold my hand, together we will go to the city of the sun. When the night falls, I will show you where my fathers lay. We will go dancing to the beating of the drum by the foothills of a sacred mountain. You'll find no trouble in the city of the sun. Africa is a mama land. Find no trouble in the city of the sun. You'll find joy, joy. To Canate, Ingo show that, Shingo show them, oh mama, oh mama, oh mama, mama Africa, oh mama, mama Africa, mama Africa.